Well, as we know, obviously, the race for the White House continues to be extremely tight. So, too, is the battle for control of the U.S. House. But when it comes to the U.S. Senate, where Democrats hold a slim 51-49 seat majority, even they admit they face an uphill battle to hold the chamber. And now polls showing unexpectedly close contests for Ted Cruz in Texas, Rick Scott in Florida, Deb Fischer in Nebraska. Democrats are looking to expand the map, but they also need to hold on to the seats in the blue wall states of Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan. And in some ways, they are putting distance between themselves and the top of the tickets. Let's bring in NewsNation's Joe Khalil following all of this live for us on Capitol Hill. So, Joe, talk about this separation, this strategy, if you will.
Well, what we're seeing from some Democrats who are running for Senate, particularly in battleground states, in those blue wall Midwestern states, is, especially in the last couple of weeks leading up to Election Day, more ads, more speeches that focus on their bipartisan work with Republicans, and in some cases very explicitly talking about areas where they have agreed with or worked with Donald Trump or former President Trump and his administration, rather than focusing on their work with the Biden administration. So what we're hearing and what we're seeing are people like Senators Bob Casey and Tammy Baldwin, and then Congresswoman Alyssa Slotkin, for example, who's running in Michigan now, running these ads where, again, what you're seeing is an emphasis on areas and ways where they've agreed with the other side. Take a look specifically at one ad that caught a lot of attention. This is Senator Bob Casey, an ad that's now running in Pennsylvania. And not the only one, but we're going to highlight this one in particular here, where he does exactly what we're talking about. Take a look.
He's independent.
That's right.
Casey's leading the effort to stop corporate greedflation and price gouging. Casey bucked Biden to protect fracking, and he sided with Trump to end NAFTA and put tariffs on China to stop them from cheating.
Now, you may be wondering why this is happening. Take a look at all of the key Midwestern battleground states, Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, within 1 point, every single one of them. And this is the polling that has been consistent. So when these margins are so close, Nichole, every single vote counts. And what I've been told, I just had a conversation with a Senate Democratic campaign source. They say that this is nothing new. Democrats have been trying to build sort of unique brands in these states as bipartisan. They say there are still voters left out there, maybe independent voters, maybe even Republican-leaning voters that appreciate bipartisanship, and this is a way to reach out to them. They would argue it's not distancing themselves from President Biden or Vice President Harris. When Harris comes to town, they're often campaigning together. But on the Republican side, what we're hearing from them and from their campaign arm is they feel like this shows confidence, a lack of confidence in their own candidates, and their candidates on the Republican side seem not to be doing this. They're fully embracing Donald Trump. And so what that shows, per the Republicans we've heard from and spoken with, is more of a bullish attitude when it comes to their candidate that may not exist on the other side of the aisle. So it's certainly interesting to see how these campaigns are strategically trying to reach certain voters in these last couple of days here.
All right, Joe Khalil, live for us in Washington. Joe, thank you. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.